Have you ever said, "I'm sorry" for something you didn't do? Like when someone bumps into you and you apologize? Or when you express your feelings and immediately take them back? If you do this often, you're not just polite, you're carrying something deeper. This isn't about manners. It's about fear, conditioning, and invisible wounds that shaped how you show up in the world. Apologizing all the time might seem harmless, even kind. But what if I told you it's actually a sign of emotional survival? When you say sorry for existing, for feeling, for taking up space, you're not expressing humility. You're asking for permission to be. And somewhere in your story, you learned that being yourself was inconvenient. Maybe you grew up in a house where emotions were too loud, or being angry made you bad, or being sad made others uncomfortable. So you learned to shrink, to smooth things over, to keep the peace by taking the blame even when it wasn't yours to carry. That habit didn't come from weakness, it came from intelligence. You adapted to your environment. You became hyper-aware of others' moods, ready to diffuse tension before it exploded. Saying "I'm sorry" became your shield, your safety, your silence. But now you're an adult, and the danger is gone. Yet the habit remains. You apologize before asking questions, before sharing your needs, before standing up for yourself. Say sorry like a reflex, like breathing. And over time, that repeated apology becomes a quiet self-erasure. Every time you apologize unnecessarily, you're reinforcing a message that your presence is a problem, that your needs are disruptions, that your truth is too loud. And slowly, you begin to disappear behind your own politeness. Think about it. How often do you say sorry when you're not wrong? When you're interrupted, when someone steps on your foot, when you're hurt, but don't want to upset the other person? It becomes easier to apologize than to be honest. But let me tell you something. You don't owe apologies for your emotions. You don't owe apologies for setting boundaries. You don't owe apologies for existing, for breathing, for taking up space. Your worth is not tied to how much you shrink for others. The constant apology isn't just about avoiding conflict, it's about avoiding rejection. It's about a deep fear that if you stand tall, if you speak clearly, someone will walk away. Maybe someone once did. You mow. You bend yourself smaller, hoping no one will be uncomfortable. You apologize for being too much. And really, you were never too much. You were just too honest for a world that prefers silence. But here's the truth. The people who truly care about you love you less when you stop apologizing. They won't leave when you speak up. They want the real you, not the version that tiptoes around discomfort. Healing from the apology reflex starts with awareness. Start by noticing it. When do you say "I'm sorry"? Write it down. Listen to your own voice. You'll begin to see the patterns and where they come from. Then, start replacing "I'm sorry" with truth. Instead of "Sorry I'm late," say "Thanks for waiting." Instead of "Sorry for bothering you," say "Do you have a moment?" These are small shifts, but they matter. They tell your nervous system, "I'm allowed to be here." The goal isn't to become cold or arrogant. It's to become honest, clear, whole. To speak without apology, and to know that you're still worthy of love. Even when you ask for something, even when you say no, you might feel guilt at first. That's normal. When you've been taught to apologize for existing, being unapologetic feels wrong. But that guilt is not a moral signal, it's a residue of your past. Give yourself grace as you unlearn this. This is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming free. Freedom doesn't mean never saying sorry. It means choosing when it's genuine, not automatic. Because sorry should be sacred. It should come from a place of truth and empathy, at fear or self-erasure. When you reserve your apologies for when they're truly needed, they carry more meaning. They build trust instead of begging for it. Start by practicing with safe people. It's the ones who love you even when you're messy. Tell them, "I'm trying not to over-apologize. Please be patient with me." You'll be surprised how many people will understand and even reflect on their own habits too. You are not a burden for being human. You are not selfish for having needs. You are not broken for unlearning a survival pattern. You are healing. And healing takes courage. Every time you catch yourself before saying sorry out of habit, you reclaim a small piece of your voice. Every piece matters, because your voice was never too loud. It was silenced too soon. You don't need to ask the world for permission to exist. You were born with that permission. You carry it in your breath. You carry it in your heartbeat. You carry it in your pain. And no one, not your past, not your fear, gets to take that away. You are allowed to say what you feel without adding, "I'm sorry," like a cushion. You're allowed to say no without explaining your every reason. The path back to self-worth is not loud. It's quiet, steady, and brave. Catching the moment you want to shrink and choosing not to. It's saying, "I matter," even if your voice shakes. And the more you do it, the more your body starts to believe it. That you're safe, that you belong, that you don't have to earn love by being small. Some people might not understand this new you. That's okay. Let them go. The ones meant for you will celebrate your wholeness, not just your silence. You're not here to be agreeable. You're here to be authentic. And there is nothing to apologize for in that. So next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm sorry," for simply existing, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I really apologizing for? And if the answer is your presence, your voice, your truth, then say nothing, or say what you really mean. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to speak without shrinking. You deserve to live without carrying everyone else's comfort on your back. You are not the problem. You are not the cause of every discomfort. You are not responsible for everyone's feelings. You're responsible for your own healing. And healing means learning to exist without apology, to stand in your truth without fear. Love yourself enough to stop begging for room. So if no one has told you lately, you're allowed to speak. You're allowed to be bold. You're allowed to make noise. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to be here, unapologetically. This is how you begin to break the pattern. One choice at a time.
Why not?
One unspoken sorry at a time. Until one day, you stop apologizing for everything and finally start living like you were never a burden to begin with. There's a reason you're exhausted from constantly managing how others perceive you. It's not because you're weak. It's because carrying the emotional weight of everyone around you has become your second nature. You became the peacemaker, the fixer, the forgiver, not because you chose that role, but because it was the only way to stay safe in relationships that didn't give you space to be fully yourself. But let me remind you, peace that comes from abandoning yourself is not peace at all. It's silent suffering. It's the kind of peace that robs you of your voice, your boundaries, your identity. The kind that makes you say, "I'm sorry," even when your heart is screaming, "I deserve better." You were never meant to live this way. When you stop apologizing unnecessarily, you will start feeling discomfort. That's expected. Your nervous system is used to equating silence with safety. But as you speak up, as you take up space, your body will learn that it can be safe without shrinking, that your truth won't destroy love, it will define it. There is something beautiful about unlearning, about no longer betraying yourself to be accepted, about finally realizing that you don't need to explain why your needs matter, that you don't need to earn love by performing small.